Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to the Moose Mobile Auto Repair channel. And so today we are going to be replacing the Bank 1 catalytic converter on this 2015 Sienna van. This particular Sienna is the front wheel drive version, and so it's a little bit easier to replace the Bank 1 catalytic converter. If you have the all-wheel drive version of this Sienna, it's going to be a lot harder because the transfer case is in the way. And so I think this calls for roughly, I think, like 4 hours or so, probably 4 to 5 hours. I think I saw in the book time 3.6 hours, but I'm not sure if that's accurate. I think it's more like 4 to 5 hours maybe. So that's what I saw on Identifix service information. So anyhow, I'm replacing this because it has the dreaded P0420 code for the catalyst inefficiency code for Bank 1. So we are replacing this today. I did some quick diagnostics in which I will show that towards the end of the video because I want to show you the repair first. I already did the diagnostics, so that will be towards the end of the video. Now this catalytic converter is an aftermarket one by Walker. I think it was about maybe like $700 or $800 or something like that. The Toyota OEM CAT converter was roughly $2,100 or $2,200 plus tax at the time of this video. And so the customer, they opted out for the OEM one. They just wanted the aftermarket one because I'm not sure if they are going to keep this van for too much longer, probably like 5 more years or so. I'm not sure. It has 348,000 kilometers on it, and so catalytic converters, they don't last forever, even though that the engine is healthy. It's not burning oil, it's not burning coolant, and there's no other issues. It's just that it's old and it's worn out, and it's time for a new one. Now typically the Bank 1 catalytic converter are usually the ones to go out first before Bank 2. Bank 2 will last a lot longer because the number 1 cylinder is closer to where Bank 1 is, and so the Bank 1 cylinders, which is in the back of this engine, they run a lot hotter, and so the exhaust gases and stuff, this area does not get too much cooling. And so because it runs hotter, the Bank 1 is more susceptible to wear. And so that's why Bank 1 goes out first before you'll see Bank 2 go out. So I'm just underneath the vehicle, and it's properly supported with 6 tons jack stands, which is more than enough. I just placed it on the subframe. So I'm just having a look at the job here, just trying to see on how it looks like. I'm going to probably spray some penetrating oil at the bottom bolts. I won't be able to reach the top bolts. Trying to see if I need to remove the heat shield separately or not, or if it's part of the cat. And there's the support holder that's going from here to there. It's mounted on the transmission. I'm probably going to remove this bolt and just take the whole thing out from there. I think the first thing we are going to do is to remove the oxygen sensor harness, the wiring. It's going to be a little bit hard to film here because there's not too much working room. So I disconnected the oxygen sensor just off camera, it's a bit hard to get to, so you may need to have long arms to get to it, or you can use like a flathead or something to hold down on the connector. I just I unmounted the clip just to get it free a little bit, so it's disconnected now. You can see the black clip that's there on the computer side of the connector. So it's gonna be hard to film all of this, so right now I'm gonna spray a little bit of penetrating oil at the bottom 3 nuts. There's a total of 6. There's 3 at the bottom and 3 on top, so I'm just gonna spray some penetrating oil. There's not too much rust on this one. It's not too bad, because I've seen a lot worse on other vehicles, and there's an all-wheel drive Sienna that I typically work on. It's a million times rustier than this one here. So I'm just gonna spray some penetrating oil now, and to let that sit for maybe a few minutes or so. It's gonna make a big mess. It's gonna make a gigantic mess, and all of that stuff is going to fall on your face, so you better be careful. So I'm just holding the camera now. This is a 12 mil, and I'm just using a 12 mil deep socket, so we are just going to attempt to remove this now. I got it loose now. Just gonna try to loosen up all of the bolts first. And the ones on top I won't be able to show because they're hiding. They're not on very tight at all. And another one here. I have all new nuts and parts for everything, so I will show you the part numbers and everything afterwards. So you can see the one nut that's hiding in the back right here. So I'm going to spray it down with penetrating oil a bit, and then see if I can do the other ones that's hiding back here. So now all 6 nuts have been taken out. They were not too bad at all. They came out relatively easy. 3 at the bottom and 3 on top. It's really easy if you don't have too much rust. I do live in the rust belt, but this customer drives this van every single day on the highway for long distances, and so that could be why there isn't so much rust. This van is not a van that sits. It always gets driven. So what's next now? We have to remove I believe they call this a stay bolt support, this bracket. So we are going to remove this. These are the 6 nuts that came out. I just used the ratchet after to unwind them. Just use a half extension and a 12 deep socket, a 3/8 drive. And the stay bolt on the transmission is a 14 mil. So I'm just taking it out now. Sorry about the bad lighting here. There we go. We may need to drop a part of the exhaust system down so we have room to pull this manifold out. Manifold is part of the catalytic converter as one whole assembly. So now we need to remove these two nuts at the bottom of the, I guess, the manifold or catalytic converter. We need to remove these two nuts. I may be able to get away with it without heating it up. Usually I have to heat stuff up all the time. And we may need to drop the exhaust a little bit to get this thing out, because there won't be any room to pull it out. So the exhaust system has to be pulled down to get space to remove this out of here. So I'm gonna spray some penetrating oil and cross our fingers and hope that we get lucky and the nuts come out. So I'm just gonna spray a tad bit. Earlier I wasn't using the straw. Without the straw, it's very messy. That may help a tiny bit to remove the two nuts. So we will see on what happens here. I believe that this is a 14. Let's see if we can get it to move a little bit. No. I don't normally get this lucky at all. I usually almost always have to heat these things up. See if I can bring my electric ratchet to loosen these further. This one came out with the entire stud. So we'll see if we'll reuse or to put new hardware on this. Usually you should put new hardware. I'm just trying to get this to loosen up a bit. We'll see if I can remove the stud and see if that does anything or not. Yeah, so we probably have to drop the exhaust down because there isn't enough room to do anything. So trying to see if I should disconnect the oxygen sensor and hang it up here, because this has been recently replaced. I don't really want to go inside, disconnect the connector, so I'll just tie it up somewhere here and just go from there. So I'm just going to remove the front pipe first, and then I believe I may have to cut this off because it's too rusted. This is what holds the pipe down. I think the bolt is too rusted, so I don't think I'll be able to save that. So I'm probably going to have to cut it off and put a new clamp at the very end. So I'm going to remove those two nuts, and then we'll proceed at the back there again and remove everything. So I'm going to spray some penetrating oil again on that. It's a little foamy. See if we can crack this loose. A bit tough. Spray it down a bit more. Probably grab an impact to remove it. Might help. Okay, let's see if the impact works. It might do the trick. Doesn't look too rusty from here. It's not moving, so I may need to heat it up. So I think I'm going to take my chances here. Do you feel lucky, Funk? Let's see. Yep, I feel very lucky. Try the other one. Looks like I took my chances and it paid off. Because usually if you use an impact, it's possible for bolts to break. I'm using an impact, so. But in this case, I just got lucky here. So what's left now, we need to cut off the clamp here. I have a new clamp that I'm going to put on after. So I'm going to cut it here. You don't want to cut it here because you don't want to damage the exhaust. Although that they do have a line here in which you can cut it, but not all the way. And you'll be able to get it off. It's probably better to cut it here just in case you don't damage the exhaust. So we are going to cut this guy off now. I'm using a relatively small wheel. Trying to see if it has gone all the way through. You can use a chisel if you want as well, which is a lot better than a screwdriver. Just trying to get that to spin. Should be able to get it off now. there's no saving that, so. I'm going to file this under G. G for garbage. I just need to get this out after. The manifold just fell down now, so I'll have to see if I can be able to get that out then without removing anything else further. There it won't, it's coming out. We do have a replacement. I have a replacement. I think this should be able to fit. This is a 2 1/4 inch, I believe. It's at 57.2 millimeters. So I think that this should work absolutely fine. I think aftermarket clamp. I think the Toyota clamp by itself is like $100, which is outrageous. But they usually come with a new pipe if you are replacing the pipe. So the manifold just came out by itself after I removed the 2 nuts and the clamp on the front exhaust. So I think we should be able to get it out, I think, now without too much hassle. But we do still have to replace the front. We do have to replace the front gasket. So I'll see if I can get this out now. See if there's any room to get it out. So we're probably going to drop this thing down because there's no room to get the manifold out. So I think that's what we are going to do. There won't be room here, so I have to remove this pipe out of the way. So now we're going to remove the O2 sensor. I think maybe it's best to just disconnect it from the inside of the vehicle. The wire may be twisted, I think. I'm not too sure. Let's see if I can remove this. It's been replaced very recently, so it should come off without any issues. I'm just going to temporarily hang it up somewhere so it doesn't get damaged or anything. Just use a zip tie temporarily, just to put it here somewhere so it doesn't get damaged. Just keep it at that, and then we'll proceed to remove these bolts. I did this in the last video, So we have to remove them again to get the pipe out. So one thing I forgot to mention here is to make sure you place a jack stand so the exhaust pipe does not fall down. And you need to disconnect the oxygen sensor for bank 2 sensor 2. And so we need to remove the connector, which is in the hiding over here in the front. So I'm just going to disconnect that. I removed it off of the holders, the wiring holder. So just disconnect the sensor so that you're able to drop this safely. So off camera, I removed a couple clips or so I can get through here. The connector is just on top, so you need to push on the connector on top in order to release the tab for the O2 sensor. So now it's right here. Earlier I was not too sure on where the tab was, so I just had a quick look from underneath the hood, and you could see the tab that's right there. So I know on where to position my fingers to get it out. So here's a close-up. We just need to push down on the gray tab in between the two orange pieces. I believe the orange piece inside is it's like a weather pack. It's to protect from water and moisture and stuff from getting inside the connector. So what I'm going to do now, I did some work here last time. I'm probably going to leave this because this one has a separate nut with the bolt. So I'm probably going to remove this one instead. It's just easier for me. But ideally you should be removing this, but it doesn't really matter on whichever side you want to pick to get the exhaust down. Because in my previous videos I was able to save the fixed hex nut, so I didn't need to use a separate nut. So now I'm just going to remove the bolt spring to drop the exhaust down. And just make sure you have the jack stand supported so you don't damage anything in the process. So I'm just going to remove these bolts now. It's a 14. So we're gonna drop this. Just gonna have to go to the other side now to get this down. Now I'm just going to carefully to drop this thing. Very careful. I'm gonna do all the cleaning and stuff afterwards, so I'm just gonna put this aside for now. Hopefully now I should be able to get the catalytic converter out. The oxygen sensor connector is trapped on the metal hook. That needs to come out. So that's that. The bank 1 catalytic converter is finally out. Just need to transfer everything. We're not going to reuse that air fuel sensor. We're going to be replacing it. That's the inside. I don't see anything broken or anything like that, so it's still intact. So now we are just going to transfer over the parts. I think this heat shield, it clips off and back on, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. It may cause problems in rattling, so I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. So, but I'm going to see if I can transfer it over. And I see where the top, where it secures from the top mounting bolt. So we're probably going to transfer that over. I'm just taking this off from the old one. Just need to tighten down the O2 sensor. It's only hand tight right now. I keep saying O2, but these are air fuel sensors. Make sure the connectors are the same. Everything is the same. For some reason, this wire is a little bit longer. This is an NTK part number. I'll post the part numbers on the screen. Making sure everything is the same here. I'm going to reinstall this. And then we need to transfer over the stay support, in which they call it. It's a 14. We're just going to reuse that. We're going to put some anti-seize on the stud here before we transfer it over. This anti-seize has been sitting around for some time, so it's a bit gooey. We may need to adjust this afterwards, so I'm not sure. This doesn't look like it's the same thread, so I might need to use a new bolt for that one. So this is an M8 by 1.25 threads. So I have a new nut, so I'm just going to use that. We're going to tighten it up. If we need to adjust it, we can adjust it later. We can tighten it up afterwards if you want. On the vehicle, we can tighten it up afterwards, so we can adjust this on where we want it. So what's next? Just need to clean the surfaces here on the cylinder head, where the manifold meets, and I just removed the exhaust manifold gasket off camera, so it was like this. I have a new one. I don't normally use the one that the Walker gasket comes with, because usually it gets damaged during a packaging and handling. It gets all bent, so I got an aftermarket Fel-Pro manifold gasket, so we are just going to be using that. So I'm just going to clean the rust off of the studs and cleaning the surfaces here, and then that's it. So I cleaned everything off that's on the engine. I'm just going to show you in just a moment. I'm using the Fel-Pro exhaust manifold gasket. Here's the part number, MS96795. It comes in a set of 2, but you just only need one. This is the old one, and this is the new one. Now, typically I use 3M Scotch-Brite sandpaper for aluminum surfaces, or you can use the 3M green bristle pad for aluminum. This is, I believe, a 50 grit, I think, for green. So this cleans and is safe for aluminum surfaces. So I cleaned everything up the best I can. I try to clean some of the rust on the studs, but I can't get every single speck of rust off. So the surface is clean now. I washed everything down with a little bit of brake cleaner. We just need to install the exhaust manifold gasket. Just trying to see if this fits or not. So the gasket goes on just like this. I had it on backwards a while ago, so we need to flip it over to get it to fit. Now I got the new catalytic converter back in. I just hand tighten all of the 6 nuts. So these are brand new nuts, and just make sure when you put the bracket, the stay bracket, make sure you don't tighten everything down just yet. Just make sure the bolts are loose, but the bolts are threaded in on both ends first, and then tighten these up last. The air fuel sensor has excessive wire, so I'm probably going to zip tie this somewhere. It's a lot longer than the OEM air fuel sensor wire, so I'm going to have to zip tie this somewhere. I wouldn't zip tie it here because this is where it's going to get hot, so you'll need to zip tie it somewhere where it's not going to get hot. And so I have to see and where I'm going to put that. And so when you tighten these up, make sure you do it in a star shape pattern. I'll see in what the torque spec is, and I'll put it on the screen for you guys. So now I torqued everything down. The exhaust manifold or catalytic converter is torqued down to 15 foot-pounds in a star shape pattern. I'll put the torque spec on the screen, and I also have to play around with the air fuel sensor. They do have a bracket on top, so I install the wire on top of where the bracket is, and I have to use a couple of zip ties to secure the rest of the wire because there's too much wire for this one for some reason. And I verified that it's for the proper air fuel sensor for bank 1, sensor 1. You just gotta make sure that when you install the air fuel sensor that the wire is not touching the exhaust from behind. So you gotta make sure it goes around over here. It's not supposed to go under here. It's supposed to go over and I believe and under from and where the back is. It's a bit hard to explain because I did everything off camera. The connector has to be routed in a specific way so it's not in the way of the shifter cable, I believe here. This is the shifter cable, so you gotta make sure that there isn't anything in the way. And then after I tighten up the stay bolts on both ends, and that's about it. And then now I just have to prepare and clean up the exhaust and put on the proper gaskets and stuff. This is the bank 2 catalytic converter, so I'm going to clean everything up off camera. I'm not going to show everything because it's going to be too long of a video, and it's very hard to film because there's not much room to put the camera. So I also have to remove and clean the exhaust pipes and replace the gaskets. These are the old ones. This one is like rotted away and rusted. So I will post the part numbers and everything. This one has already been replaced, but I think I'm going to replace it again just in case. And that's going to be it. I think everything is just the reverse of removal. So I'll come back on camera after when I'm pretty much almost done. So now I clean everything up off camera. I just put some gasket sealer, and then I put the gasket on top so it doesn't fall off. So I cleaned all the ends. So I'm just ready to reinstall this back onto the vehicle. So I'm just almost done. I just need to install the one clamp afterwards. I just want to start the vehicle and make sure there's no exhaust leaks, make sure everything is okay, and then after I'm going to install a new clamp. The clamp that I have here is an aftermarket one. I think it's 2 1/4, 2.25 inch, yeah, 2.25. The part number 36437. I think this can be purchased online through Rock Auto or something. So it looks very close in diameter. So I'll see if this works, because Toyota wanted $100 for a stupid clamp. So anyhow, I'm just going to clear the codes for the check engine light and to start the vehicle. So I did have the other scan tool hooked up, but I'm just going to use this to clear the codes. We'll just clear that. Okay. Make sure the check engine light is not there. And we are going to start the vehicle. It will smoke quite a bit, so don't be alarmed. It's just all of the residue and penetrating oil and stuff. So we're going to start it. So far it sounds pretty quiet. So just verify for exhaust leaks and make sure that nothing is leaking. There's still gonna be some smoke and residue and stuff, so just it'll take some time for the stuff to burn off. So don't be alarmed. It's just gonna take a while. So far everything seems to be okay. It's just smoking here and there, and that's okay. It's just going to burn off over time. Just verify your work and make sure everything looks okay, and then you should be all good to go. Just double check for leaks, and then that's gonna be it. Might be too big, so we may need to use a smaller one. So now I'm just in the process of removing this. I have some other clamp, the U-bolt style clamp. I may use this, but the issue with these things is that sometimes they contribute to rust, and so if you put it where it is, it may rust in that spot. So I don't know, like over time. But that's all I have in stock now. All the other ones I have is 2.25 and 2.5 inches, and it's too big. I checked online. It was saying that it would fit this, but I guess it didn't. So I'm just removing this now. So I have this U-bolt thing that I can use for now until I find something else. I don't know. This might work. This is 2 1/8. I have to see if I have a smaller one than this in stock. This may be a little. I'll see if I can get a 2-inch one and see if that fits. So I have a 2-inch clamp, which works best for this application. This is all I have in stock. So it goes like this. Put this over here. I'm probably going to spray paint a bit, and then I'll install this. So I was not able to show everything on camera. I had to charge my camera up. So I ended up just using a 2-inch U-bolt clamp. And so I tighten it up. And before I spray painted it with some exhaust header paint. I'm just using I use the VHT exhaust paint stuff. That's going to help a tiny bit with the rust, but eventually the paint is going to burn off over time from the exhaust, and so I just needed something to hold down the bracket, just to hold it down, and that's it. So after I tighten up the two nuts, I spray painted it a little bit more, Now I'm just waiting for it to fully cure and dry up. So one other thing I forgot to mention, where the catalytic converter meets the Y pipe area, I used M10 by 1.25 bolts. It's 40 millimeters in length. So M10 by 1.25 by 40 bolts, and the nuts are the same thing. The M10 nuts, M10 by 1.25. So those are the bolts and nuts I use for the exhaust stuff, or you can use on whatever fits. But this is what works for me. I remounted back the oxygen sensor back, and just tighten up the two bolts in the back, the spring bolts, and that's about it. Just again, verify for leaks, make sure everything is nice and tight, you didn't leave anything loose, and and that should be it. So that's going to conclude this video for the replacement of the catalytic converter on bank 1 of this 2015 Toyota Sienna van. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and please don't forget to hit that bell notification if you haven't done so. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day and take care.